Powered by Riverside.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy GQ, and I'm here with Boulevard.
What's good, y'all? I'm here.
We are live from the bench, and we got another great episode for y'all. Guess what?
No.
It's gonna be May. It's already May, but today is the post-draft weekend episode. We're gonna get into some good stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of energy. I got energy. It's hot as shit in my house because the AC's not working. Who gives a damn? Y'all don't. And Howie Roseman got me stuck in the draft room still. The draft's already over, but I'm still in the draft war room. It's whatever. Boulevard's over at the Coliseum, at the Boulevard Coliseum, enjoying himself.
Oh, no,
how you doing?
I just saw a skunk in the daytime, so I don't know if that's normal or not. Definitely just saw a skunk in my backyard, though. I don't know. I know before we get into it, I got one question since I just saw one. Would you own a pet skunk?
No, I would not. I would not touch a skunk. I would not sleep. I mean, I wouldn't keep the
You know they're harmless to us, right? I mean,
yeah, I know.
Shit, but they won't fuck with us.
Yeah, I know.
If you take that stink ball out of them, yeah, I definitely would have a skunk for a pet. I'm not into your basic animals. I'm not into cats. I mean, dogs are cool. Cats suck. So,
facts.
What are you? Yeah, okay. So you're a dog person too. But give me a skunk, give me a possum. I'll take one of those for a pet. No problem. Maybe even a raccoon. I don't want a normal pet.
A raccoon.
I don't want normal pets. Pets boring. I mean, I don't even have a pig where I have a damn.
I would take a lizard. I would take a lizard. I wouldn't do snakes.
No snakes. Because you got to
I
feed
wouldn't
them
do
rats
snakes because I don't know. It's just certain animals just ain't for me. It's just not interesting.
I don't like their diet. That's why I wouldn't go near one. I wouldn't fuck with them.
Lizard's cool. I would do a lizard. Like I would do a bearded dragon.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I won't do a spider. Get that out of here. I won't do any insects.
No.
I wouldn't do a monkey.
I'd have a monkey.
I
definitely would have a monkey. Every time like a witness comes to the door or somebody like, have you found the Lord? I give them some shit at them. Absolutely. Like, monkey, do what you do.
Would you do a talking bird? One of them birds that be talking?
Oh, hell yeah. They talk so much shit. We talk so much shit. Wouldn't even know it hated the Cowboys, but it would know the Cowboys suck because that's all they say. Cowboys suck, rock. Cowboys ass. Dak is ass, rock. Dak is ass. Jerry senile.
Yeah. I wouldn't do anything outside of the normal too much. Like if most people don't have it as a pet, I wouldn't have it as a pet.
Oh, it's not a skunk. It's just a regular big ass squirrel. That's a big fucking squirrel. Where are you going, little buddy?
Maybe the whatchamacallit went off. The nuclear bomb went off by your house.
All right. That'd be neat. Be the end of Vermont. Yay!
Damn.
All right. I don't know where he's going, but we live. I know we just took up a lot of time with all that talk about animals. Y'all got an animal y'all think I'm weird for wanting a possum? Think I'm weird for wanting a pet skunk? You know what to do. Tell me y'all about it. Tell me what pets y'all got. Oh yeah, but this is our draft episode. We're going to cover what happened over the past weekend with our Eagles, the new additions, big moves we made, the introduction of our new secondary, or according to some people, secondary. Applause. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Now, GQ, what do you think about our picks? Just overall as a whole.
About the Eagles picks?
Yeah. It's our overarching opinion. Do you love them?
Honestly, I do. There's one pick that there's like one or two picks that I'm just like, But
Yeah, I got one in particular I'm pretty about.
But for the most part, I feel like I like who they are. Um, I like the picks. I feel like Howie Roseman is like a master genius, and yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to
I
be
mean,
the
so what's
president
his,
of the Eagles at some point. He's going to be the president in the Eagles in like
if
10
he
years.
keep making picks like this, he's gonna be mayor of Philly in a couple years.
I
Shit.
pray.
Well on his way. But I mean, what was his boy name? I can never remember his name. From the Fox show in the morning with the stupid haircut and the goatee. Matt or Mark or Mike or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking Al
okay.
Roker, but I don't know. He
No,
might not
no,
be
no.
Philly. I don't know.
No, it was on Fox Sports today. Whatever the hell his name is. Okay, well, he was talking, or yesterday, was talking about how he tends to make the picks that the fans want and the media wants, and that's why everybody gives him good grades on his picks, and he looks like this master genius, as you put it. I mean, to an extent, yeah. I mean, yeah, he does kind of, but there's a reason for that. He does kind of go with the same picks the fans tend to say. Probably because he agrees.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say he doesn't agree? We don't see his draft board. It's not like he's one of the idiots who leaves the board on TV in the background while you're getting clips of the War Room or some shit. Like, that doesn't happen. I'm not the most on-record fan about Howie, but I can see the light.
I have a theory about the Eagles draft board.
This pick. Yeah, go for it.
I have a theory. The reason why you never see the Eagles draft board is because if you can see behind me, there's TV screens.
That's right. We're live and direct inside the War Room.
The Eagles draft board comes up on this screen. When it's time for them to start, it's their time for their picks. Their draft board is streamed to these TVs. These TVs, when they're alive, when their TVs are live, they look like one screen. That's just my theory. It's just a theory.
It looks like you're watching Good Morning Philadelphia in the background.
And these ones with the Philadelphia skyline in the back, this is where you look at highlights and things like that on there. But the draft boards are usually on these screens here. So everybody
it looks like it's going to bleed the screen because it's been frozen on that post for a month.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my theory. I have no source. I have no experience inside the Eagles draft room. Even though I did have a question earlier and it had made me ask another theory, because what the guy asked me, he said, "Hey, when the
Nick
draft
Wright, that was his name, Nick Wright. Yeah, whatever. I'm going on.
I don't like him. Oh, him, the one that looks like a tall version of Lloyd Farquaad.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, him.
Or like a slightly like the evil version of Kylo Ren. Even though Kylo Ren is evil. Nick Wright looks like
more evil.
Yeah. It's like he grew a mustache. And yeah.
Just to tell you he evil, that's all. Just because he evil now, he grew a mustache because he a heel. Yeah.
That's Nick Wright.
But
the other question that was asked to me, the gentleman said, when you run out of picks, when you drafted your last pick, but like the Eagles did, their last pick was in the 6th round. He asked, what do you do? Do you just pack up and leave? And basically, I told him from the best of my ability what I thought. What my theory was no. You guys are usually still in that draft room until Mr. Irrelevant is selected. The reason why is because new offers could come in. You may end up seeing something that you like,
right?
And you may want to be like, you know what? Let's trade back in the 7th round because I like what I'm looking at. And then you sit there, and then after that, most of the time you're not going home, or you're going to be right back. And in a few hours, you're probably not going to leave till 2 a.m. because your job isn't done just because the draft is done. Now you got to start looking at UDFA. You got to start looking at UDFAs because in the 9 out of 10, you're probably not going to get another day off till Wednesday. You're probably there Monday. You're probably there Sunday. Tuesday, Wednesday, bright and early because you gotta beat the other teams to the punch. So that's just my theory. I think you're probably going to spend the next few days looking at UDFA. So even if your picks are done, you're not done. Your job is not done. You're still doing what you have to do because you got to beat to the punch. That's why most of the UDFAs are done before today, which is today. Wednesday is usually a day off for most.
May Day. It's
people.
gonna be May.
Happy May Day. Shout out to Justin Timberlake, even though I know it was NSYNC, but shout out to Justin Timberlake.
It was Justin Timberlake. He was the face on the screen. All right.
So yeah, I like the Eagles picks. They're fantastic. I feel like it was two that I wasn't too excited about, but the rest
we'll get there.
Like it.
All right. So is it a new secondary or between one of our new picks and Reed Blankenship? Is it the secondary? Like milk, cow tits.
It's funny that you say this because I wasn't thinking that this was something I was going to have to bring out to the world. Because I was working on something recently, and I was just like, it's crazy. I didn't think this was even going to become something I'd be working on or something I'd share. But maybe I should share it because it's interesting and it might be worth talking about. Because yes, I do think the Eagles look like a completely different team, and if you really lay it out, you're potentially the Eagles are definitely a better team than they were last year.
Much younger, too. Well, they once they got obviously they're better. Got rid of the coaches. But yeah, I get what you're saying. On paper, they look a lot better, a lot more improved. A lot of weaknesses look like they've been filled out, or at least kind of improved. The depth's not as good, but hey, that's going to come in time. We're not going to have a full 53 right now, 52. So
yeah,
still a process.
So this is what
slides. Ooh, purdy.
This is what I was working on, and I know we're not going to see much of the much. We don't know, but I basically worked on a little depth chart for what I think is coming down because it just gets interesting. Now, the offense doesn't change too much. You get a better guy at the number 3 with Devontae Parker. But you see some difference with Cam Jordan sliding in the center. Of course, we all know that. Tyler Steen, who performed well enough, moving in the right guard. And, of course, Saquon Barkley basically completely revamping your offense. But that's not the talk. This is where, because you look at where this defense is right now, completely different. Completely different. It was probably a bit of me being overexcited, but I look at the safety position. You'll see a lot of Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown, C.J. Gardner-Johnson's probably going to be that safety, but he'll play a little bit of slot. I looked at, Darius Slay, Isaiah Rodgers, cornerback 1, Quinion Mitchell and Keely Ringo playing that cornerback 2, and a lot of James Bradbury, Cooper DeJean in the slot. Now, this is just me just completely blowing it out my asshole, I'm just
no diddy
making some things I'm just throwing things at the wall, seeing where it sticks. This because when you have these players, because I feel like now you have a completely different secondary here because Reed Blankenship's coming to his own. Sidney Brown still has to figure out who he is, but C.J. Gardner-Johnson is probably the best guy for them to develop. They have similar builds. Devin White, he'll probably be your green dot. And then Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean.
You're lying, cat. Can you not lick plastic right now? Jesus.
Nakobe Dean will probably be in and out of the lineup. So, and I think this is where you see a combo of Jeremiah Trotter, Zach Bond at that middle linebacker.
He's leaving.
And maybe you'll see some. I don't even know who the Eagles have at linebacker, but you'll see some. There'll be some rotation at that other inside linebacker slot. Now on the defensive line, you got Josh Sweat. He'll be your edge, and on the other side, you'll see some Brandon Graham and Bryce Huff. I'm sorry. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Wolfson will be your rotation at defensive tackle. A lot of Jalen Carter this year.
Hopefully,
you'll see some rotation with the edges though. Josh Sweat will probably get most of the snaps. The edge, would you see a lot of Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt, Brandon Graham, Bryce Huff will probably split a lot of those snaps. But it's a completely different team, and this is something that we've been.
Few things I've seen differently. As Milton Williams is going to be playing an end now, 3-4 end, and I'd probably switch Dejon and CJ, because I could imagine CJ will be more in the slot than Cooper will.
So
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's just like this right here, just throwing things at the wall. Because this right here could be anything could happen. Like you may not even see James Bradbury in an Eagles uniform.
Hallelujah.
Cooper DeJean could be a full-time safety. And CJ Gardner-Johnson could be the full-time slot. You never know what's going to happen because they've got some talent that they didn't have before.
Right.
And
brings me into my questions. Is Quinjon Mitchell the missing piece?
No, I don't think he's the missing piece, but I think he gives you a better shot than what you had because he doesn't James Bradbury has the yips. He has to get himself. He's got to find a way to get himself out of that slump. It doesn't happen this year.
He got to go. He can get himself out of the slump on another team.
Yeah, and I say this, and the reason why I agree with you is because you got a guy like Isaiah Rodgers. Everybody is really excited about Isaiah Rodgers. Me, if I'm James Bradbury, I don't like that.
Right.
Everybody is pretty excited about Kelee Ringo. I don't like that. Then you bring in Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. I don't like that. If I'm James Bradbury, I'm already mentally hurt. I'm already mentally damaged because I'm like,
damaged goods, 31 years old. Yeah, no. Yeah. The writing's on the wall. I don't like
any of this.
Tips up out.
Yeah, I'm not liking any of this. It looks like, and this right here when they say put their feet to the fire, this right here is feet to the fire because now there is a bunch of guys, talented guys who are on the up and up that are probably going to knock me off of my pedestal.
They're coming for his job, and rightfully so. He was among weak links.
Yeah, and then you look at Darius Slay. Now, I'm not going to say Darius Slay is part of the problem. He's aging out. He's getting older. He can't be. If you see that somebody like James Bradbury, who had, but just a few years ago, was probably one of the best corners in the game, and now you're looking at Darius Slay. If I'm looking at James Bradbury possibly getting tossed out, you can consider that. Darius Slay start messing up. Maybe he might want to be worried about the people behind him. So, listen, anything could be happening right now.
Yeah. And that's what you want. You want people pushing for these spots, for the top spots.
That's what he said. That's what he said. Because someone said, "How do you feel about Quinyon Mitchell coming in to take your job?" And he said, "I hope he is." And that's leadership
mentality you gotta have.
Yeah, he said, "I hope he's here to take my job. I hope he's here to take my job. Right. I hope he's here to force me to go play safety." That's something I would like to see. Because if Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell push Darius Slay and James Bradbury out of that starting lineup, now you got to start considering: do you trade Slay? Do you move him to safety? Do you make him a slot? What would you do in that case, in that situation?
Probably safety.
Yeah.
I mean, safety's pretty solid right now, and there wouldn't really be a need. I mean, who'd you say put him over, CJ or Blankenship, or even DeJean, for that matter?
And that's just the thing. You just rotate them.
Yeah,
that's the great thing about this defense, because you see a lot of rotation. There'll be a lot of rotation. So I like the secondary a lot. And it's just
all you need is
the only thing they're missing is that Dawkins. That's all they're missing.
Right. They still need
Cindy
that
Brown get out of his way and learn how to control his aggressiveness, control his path of when he's tackling his angles. He is a hard hitter, so maybe he can be that guy. Reed's also a hard hitter, but he's small.
Right.
5'9", I believe.
Hey, if you hit hard, you hit hard. Play big. You gotta play you ain't gotta play your side. Okay, my next question.
Love.
Is Cooper DeJean a victory for civil rights?
I wouldn't say he a victory for civil rights, but I think
all right, it's affirmative action in action.
Yes. But on a serious note, I want him to do well because I'm tired of like people. There's an argument where people say black men can't be quarterbacks, white men can't be corners, white men can't be running backs, black people don't play good offensive line. I'm tired of that question.
It's the conversation. Shit,
I don't want to have that conversation no more.
Some lazy
I want
scouts.
to get rid of it.
And people with fucked up mindset.
White men
can
play.
We're way beyond that now. If you can play the position,
it doesn't matter what your skin looks like.
Right, this man gets the job. That's what it is. This ain't the workforce where you got some whoever running the show with their own minds. No, best players need to be on the field. Don't matter what they look like. Don't matter what they look like. Don't really matter what they build like. If they're the best player at that position, they need to be on the field. That's all that matters. Right. We're not out here to make civil statements or anything. We're out here to win football games.
Yes.
And if you're out here trying to make statements, you don't need to be out there.
And I want to see more black kickers. Let's see if black people can kick a ball. I'm going to go ahead and say they can't because
it's not swimming.
I've seen some of my friends who are very talented athletes try to kick a football and just suck at it. Like, what are you doing?
Because it's not an easy thing to kick a football 40 yards through uprights. It's not easy.
And the thing is, a lot of us guys, we're trying to play the skill position, so we're not really trying to hone our skills.
Who was that? Mike Leach? Was it Mike Leach that took a guy out of the crowd, made him kick a field goal, and he made it, and then he never missed the extra point for the team? Like they gave him a scholarship, and he never missed the extra point.
That's insane.
Yeah, I think it was Mike Leach on the Texas Tech a few years ago. All right, so we're in agreement that Cooper DeJean, being the first white quarterback in 20 some odd years, is a victory for affirmative action. We're in agreement.
All right, so I'm gonna say this because I feel like nobody is really taking up for my man Riley Moss, Denver Broncos.
Riley Moss, Denver Broncos. I don't even know who that is.
Listen, I feel like we're not giving him enough respect.
He's not a real person.
Riley Moss, the cornerback in Denver, who also went to Iowa. I believe he went to Iowa.
So he played with DeJean?
He might have.
Okay. Well, I never heard of this dude.
Riley Moss,
Caitlin Clark,
a cornerback. I feel like we've been hearing all year about Cooper DeJean being the first white corner in the NFL. Riley Moss was here last year.
Nobody gives two.
I'm gonna bring up.
Nobody cares about Riley Moss. He doesn't count.
I don't.
He was just there because it was a crisis. But won't be in the league in a year. He won't be in the league come 2026. Nobody cares about him.
He's not good. I'm just gonna.
That's why you ain't hear shit. DeJean,
he's still a corner. He had 6 total tackles last year, and 2 of them. No, 6 total, 2 solo tackles.
Whoa!
Listen, I'm trying to.
I had 6 tackles in one game.
It's not fair, man. It's not fair. Riley Moss, I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. But yes, I'm excited about Cooper DeJean because he'll probably be the first relevant white corner. Boulevard's talking to production right now.
Good one, first good one since Seahorn.
Seahorn.
I mean, that's if you want to consider Seahorn good. Some of us do. Some of us remember him getting fucking destroyed.
Wait, what was the other? Well, because Seahorn played a little safety too. What's that other guy? He's a DB's coach now. Played for the Chargers.
Yeah.
Damn, forget him. You don't care.
It's a Charger. He means nothing.
All right.
All right. Next question. Unless you had something you wanted to fill in there.
Are we going down the line of talking picks still, or we got other questions?
Still, yeah, I still got a couple more questions about picks.
All right, you go ahead.
All right. My next question is about Will Shipley, the running back we picked up. Yeah. Speaking of like what you were talking about earlier, with players who allegedly can't play this position because they don't have the right look. We got Will Shipley.
Right.
But I mean, was he the right choice? With Ray Davis, Isaac Garando, and Braylon Allen available, was Will Shipley the right choice?
So I'll say this. I think that given what type of offense Philadelphia is going to be making, because Saquon's going to have the majority of the carries, he'll probably get some catches out of the backfield because that's just how the game is designed. But you need a specialist. And I think that's one thing Philadelphia's always been good at, like thrived at, having a specialist to catch the ball out of the backfield. They haven't had one of those in a very long time. And they've always been really good at having a specialist. And even though you got Ray Davis, these guys are probably more of a run specific running backs. Oh, Huggies. They're probably like more run focused backs. I feel like they potentially be wasted. Now, Will Shipley gives you something different. So I feel like, if I was the person
and Braylon Allen, I was hoping for Davis, kind of just for the Temple story. Yeah, local boy come home or whatever. But I mean, my real choices were either Garendo or Braylon Allen. I just wanted somebody that could actually hit somebody.
I would have seen me because of the type of person I am. I love a power running game. I'm a fan of a power run game. So Braylon Allen probably would have been my pick just because of his size alone. And it definitely gives you a different dimension in your offense because you can line him up at fullback. You can run it.
You get more power out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I like
Shipley,
that.
What are they going to do? Line them up outside, just line them up on the boundary or in a slot? Or just have like these gadget players?
You become, he is a gadget player, but I would have also still said, I'm going Braylon Allen. I'm bringing in a running back's running back. You know what I mean? If that's the right way to say it, I would have brought in somebody who's more, somebody exactly what they're doing. Like there is no question about what they're there for, and I think that right there would have been like good for. It's a time, baby.
Yes, this is really happening. I am doing this, making cabbage.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's 1:30.
Like okay, so you think he's the right choice?
I feel like he's
distracting.
As far as somebody who's fit for that team, he's a good fit for the team. So I think he's a good choice. I don't think they made a bad pick. I would have gone with one of the bigger, with a more run specific guy because you still have that two-headed, that double skill set with Saquon. But you want to make sure you have somebody that's going to be able to offset Saquon running the ball, who's also a threat at running the ball. But you get what you get. We have to accept Will Shipley.
You get what you got when you go for it, I guess. And that's how we did. I'm not too fond of that pick. Not so sure about this next one either, because I never heard his name during the season. Jalen Hunt, you know anything about him? Because I knew nothing.
So I didn't know anything about him. I didn't even look at his film. That's
Right,
why, like,
right.
when they said his name, like, because I'm pretty sure he was way down my draft board. But what I'm
Oh, yeah.
hearing about him was that he was a former receiver, former cornerback, and he picked up weight to play edge. So and they
Wow.
said they do sometimes they line him up. So like they line him up to cover receivers, and he does well. He said he was able to cover receiver and defend the jump ball. That's weird, but I mean, if he's able to do it, cool. And they said that fits Vic Fangio's thing because he likes to drop his edge rushers in the coverage. If that's something you want to do, and that's
Mhm.
something that he's capable of doing, I think that's a great pick. But I feel like there were a lot better
So he's
picks
more of
available.
a coverage linebacker than a edge rusher.
He's a little bit of both,
Hmm.
but I
Okay.
think there was a lot of other picks out there. I would have went Edge Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper was still
Mhm.
there. I would have went Edgerrin Cooper, the top linebacker in the draft. I would have went him before I
Yeah, that's
went
great.
Jalen Hunt. I feel like Jalen was a reach.
Oh, it
I feel
was
like
a reach.
I feel like he would have been a reach on everybody's board.
Mm.
Jalen, I'm working. Yeah, so I feel like he was a reach on everybody's board. At third round, definitely a reach. I don't think anybody was looking at Jalen
Yeah.
Hunt, but
They
I
had the
think they
man
did that.
listed as a good backup.
Yeah.
He's more athlete than he's a potential. He's a potential guy.
Another pick that I wasn't very fond of was
Right.
I'm not sure if I'm saying his name wrong, Ananias Smith. I'm sure there's talent
Yeah, that
there,
was
but
another move.
yeah,
I
it was
didn't.
like
Yeah.
didn't even look at his film. He was lower on my board,
I
not
think I
somebody I
did
was
look at
even
it,
looking
but
at.
yeah,
So
something special.
he's another guy that I couldn't really give you anything about. And like even when I saw his film, nothing shot off. Like when I finally saw his film during the draft, nothing about him struck me as like, oh, I'm gonna get him. And nothing struck me about him made me more excited.
5'9", 190, short arms and small hands.
Kick returner at best. And you don't need
Good
that. You have
concentration, ball skills. Yeah, he's a returner or a
yeah,
slot.
and my
Not a
thing
good
about him,
route.
I don't see him making the final cut. He's not gonna make the roster.
No,
Because
probably
you look
not.
at your roster now. You look at your roster now, you got AJ, Devontae.
Well, he ends up on somebody's practice squad or
Yeah,
somebody
you still
else's
have
locker room.
Covey. Yeah. He'll be a if anything, he's gonna be a camp body, probably a PS body. But you got
Yes.
you still got Covey at returner. And at returner, you're probably going to see some Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean's going to play some corner too. I mean, some returner too.
That's possible, yeah.
Shipley is definitely going to play some returner too. So now you got to consider like why we even drafting him. He's not going to be. You're not even going to throw him back there. So, and then we know C.J. Gardner-Johnson plays some kick returner as well. So there's a lot of questions there. I feel like he's just a pick that we're gonna, and that's something I'd never really like. I never like when teams go out and draft somebody, especially with a fourth pick. You draft, a fourth round pick, you draft somebody who's not even going to be on your 53. I don't like that. I don't like spinning picks, players that aren't going to be on your 53.
So maybe if the potential is high enough that, or he just fell for whatever reason. All right.
There's
maybe.
Nothing.
But my hopes are not up on Aeneas Smith at all. Aeneas Smith. I'm not too keen on this guy, but the next guy, but it makes sense. Jeremiah Schreier Jr. We know why he's there, but does he make the team?
I'm gonna say this. This is okay. So Quenya Mitchell's pick, I was happy about it. even though he was like he was like wasn't the highest corner on my board. I like Terry and Arnold. I like Nate Wiggins, but Nate Wiggins' size probably was a big contributor to what Philadelphia was looking
Mm,
for in the corners. They wanted somebody with size, and Nate Wiggins was a
makes
little on
sense.
the slender side, undersized, and you want physical corners. Um, I like Terry and Arnold, even though he was like undersized, but he was bigger. So
I mean, Trotter's not big himself. I mean, he's 6 feet
yeah,
230. He goes with the typical linebacker Philly's been chasing of late. Small, more athlete, more athletic, I should say. Good speed, good eyes, good hands. Can hit. He can blitz. It's not strong. I guess I don't know. But what I've seen on tape, he didn't really stand out that much to me. He just looked like a guy. He just looks like a guy to me. I wasn't impressed. I feel like he'll struggle to make the team. I don't know how well he reads the plays.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
I
I'm
feel
not
like
too
he'll
big
make
on it, but I mean it's round. So you're looking at prospects at that point. You're looking at depth. Players that might become a starter 3 years from now, but not
I
today.
feel like I feel like with Jeremiah Trotter, I feel like he's probably in the best position to potentially start. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why is because yes, he's the Nepo baby. He was drafted because of his name. It was just the
Absolutely.
home pick. It was definitely the hometown pick. Like you need to be
Mm-hmm.
a Philadelphia Eagle. There's no
That is
reason
very
to
believable.
like there was no reason to like I don't feel like anybody else was looking at him because they knew he was gonna be a Philadelphia Eagle. And
Yeah.
I felt like if
I don't think
anybody
anybody else wanted him.
yeah, and I feel like if anybody else was gonna grab him out of spite, it was gonna be Dallas Cowboys. Because they do that to Philly
Yeah,
all the time. They do that to Philly.
yeah, but we'll be getting into their draft and how well they did.
Yeah.
Eye roll emoji. That's not
Um,
this episode. That's
but I
next
feel like
episode.
with N'Kobe Dean's injury history and then like he messes up a lot. I feel like this is where
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah Trotter can potentially raise his stock on the team because when you look at the Eagles linebacker core now, the Eagles linebacker roster now, you
Mm-hmm.
don't really have anybody else. Maybe Zach Bond from the guy they got from New Orleans, who's a glorified special teamer.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
he's in the best position to potentially leapfrog N'Kobe Dean if he performs well.
Hmm.
So
Hey,
that's my
that's
point.
on Dean. That's more on Dean than anybody. He's
Yeah,
got the spot there. He's just got to
yeah.
point there. He's got to
N'Kobe
own
Dean,
it.
there's a reason why they went out and got Devin White. That's not Devin White
Mm-hmm.
because Devin White was that good. It was because N'Kobe Dean was that bad. That's
Mm-hmm.
why Philadelphia went out and got Devin White. That's why they spent that money. And that's what people got to understand. We're not going out spending money because players are that good. It's because the
Right.
players we have didn't develop, so we had no choice. It's like the
Right.
players we got didn't develop, so we had to go out and get somebody better. If we
You
had, like, if
draft
no
to find starters, and you use free agency to fill gaps.
yeah,
And
because if
defensively,
Kobe
the
Dean was
Eagles
good,
have
if
a lot of
Kobe Dean
gaps.
did his job, you wouldn't have to get an aging Devin White.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally agree. All right,
Who's
so
up?
I got one more player because I wasn't going to go into the guard or whoever that last guy was. That last
Dylan
pick, but
McMahon and Keegan.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not even going to talk about them because I don't care. They're depth pieces. But my question is Johnny Wilson. I mean, that's
Oh,
the
you mean
question.
Slash? You mean
Maybe.
Slash 2.0?
Maybe.
I think he is going to be. I like him. I like the pick. And it actually never dawned on me. It never dawned on me. I just saw his like I was looking at his film and I liked him. He looked like he was a big body. It was just pushing people away, catching the balls over him. I never went to actually look at his size. I never actually like it. Probably flashed on the screen when they picked him. but I never considered it. And then when I actually looked him up again today, right before I saw 6'7", and I'm like, wait a minute, he's a short jump. Yeah, so I was like, oh, let me look at his side. Like, let me look at his weight, 230. I'm like, ooh, let's look at his 40 time. Luckily, you had it already ready.
4.53, I think it was.
4.5. What was it?
4.53, I believe.
4.53. That's not too slow, especially for his size. Yeah. And so that right there was just like,
separation. He'll be good at the next level. My question is, considering he was considered the best blocking wide receiver in the draft, and he's 6'7", 230 pounds. And though they say he doesn't have the frame to pack on more, Bill, he can definitely pack on more. Is he a wide receiver or a tight end? If we can get him up to 240, wide receiver or tight end, or
that's 3 pounds.
Drop him down. Train him more. I don't know. Is he a wide receiver or a tight end? Is the point.
I keep him at tight end. I'd keep him at tight end, but I'd also give him like a slash, because he's at a point where he can gain 3 pounds and he's 237. That's what he was listed as, 237. He gains 3 pounds, boom, he's a tight end. He's not
he was listed at 237. I got a whole fucking stupid argument on it with somebody on another show, the eye test. And they said he couldn't play tight end because he was too small. He needed to gain 15 pounds. So you mean to tell me he already gained 7 of that 15? Gee, I guess I was right in saying he could play tight end probably.
So I have an issue with when people do things like that, because I've seen there are linebackers in the league right now who weigh 216 pounds. People are moving safeties who are under 210 to play linebacker. These are people that are supposed to guard tight ends. If a tight end is 225, he's already got the size advantage over a linebacker in the NFL. So when the linebackers are getting smaller, your tight ends can get smaller and more fast and agile. It does not matter anymore. If a person can play the position, he can play the position. And so just forget how big a tight end is.
Really lie with him. Is he a surefire wide receiver, or was he, like you said, is he just going to be like a matchup nightmare, I guess? You said a slash, but I mean like just a matchup.
He's going to be a matchup nightmare because most corners aren't going to be able to jump with him. He's got long arms. Most corners aren't going to be able to jump with him. Most linebackers aren't going to be able to keep up with him. So
ain't too many 6'4", 6'5" corners in the league right now.
I think. And my thing is and somebody I wasn't really a fan of. You remember Riley Cooper? He wasn't a receiver I was very fond of, but one thing he did a lot was beat people downfield. He wasn't very fast, but his 6'4" frame, and that's a big thing. Yeah. That size is a big thing. When you can't guard somebody like that because of your size, it becomes a problem. Because Riley Cooper, he could beat you on the deep ball. He just wasn't very good, but he can beat you on that jump ball. And I think that's what he gives you, and he's going to beat you by a mile. I think he becomes – I feel like he's going to get a lot of reps as the second tight end, maybe that third or fourth receiver. He's going to give you – he's definitely going to help in that 12 personnel. I like it.
You don't think he could be a Mike Evans 3 years down the road? He could be the second coming of Mike Evans? Maybe Megatron?
Could be. I think he gives you that ability to do a lot. He may even be somebody you can slide in as that fullback to give you that extra pressure.
Yeah.
And when Eagles like to do that, they like if they want to run no huddle, slide him at fullback. You can spread your offense out because then you go into a goal line situation. You already got, let's say you got CJ Uzomah and Dallas Goedert at tight end, and at fullback you got this guy. And you're probably running 3 tight ends, and you got your fullback, Johnny Wilson at fullback. You got Stoll, Uzomah, Goddard, at tight end, and you got Barkley in the backfield, of course. You want motion out of that. You have a receiver ready. And teams are not going to be prepared for that because you're going to be like, oh, shit, do I put a linebacker out there or do I put one of my safeties? Because you don't usually run corners on goal line defense. So now you have to plan for him. He's somebody you actually have to consider different options. And that is a win every single time. So I like the pick. I like him. And this is just my coach mind, just putting out different theories that I would put out there. So listen, I like the pick. I like the pick a lot.
Yeah, I got no complaints about it. I mean, dude that big. Possibilities, what he could be. There's a lot of them. I mean, we could definitely get some mileage out of his abilities. So I like the pick. If he doesn't turn into anything, that's fine too. But if we can get just any production out of Johnny Wilson, that'd be wonderful. Use him to his abilities. All in all, I'd say it's a solid draft for the Eagles.
Yes.
Better than some other teams in the league, especially. I like it. I'd give it I guess I'd give it an A minus, maybe a B plus.
Mm-hmm. I don't see any argument there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's not like I knew who McMahon or Keegan were. I don't really care. I don't see either of them even making the squad outside of special teamers. Maybe McMahon's a gunner. I don't know. But we'll see.
McMahon's what position is McMahon? I got him at center.
Oh, he's center. I thought it said safety. That is bad. Center and guard, yeah. I had McMahon in my head as safety. I think I'm thinking of the other McMahon, Shane's kid.
Declan?
Yeah. I think I was thinking in my head. It's the D McMahon thing. Yeah. All right. He's the center. So a depth pick, maybe. Keegan, same.
I think Keegan and McMahon both make the roster because they lost a lot of offensive linemen. I think bringing in I think pick they just made with this is a guy I like. I like him a lot. 6'7" dude from the Jets. What's his name? Shit.
Mekhi
Becton.
You did pick up that.
I like him.
Yeah.
I feel like with losing Jack Driscoll, Sua Opeta, they lost another line. They lost Kelsey, of course. You got to replace those guys. That's 3 losses right there.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan,
right,
and Keegan, they can slide right into it.
We know Becton can play left and right. He's better left and right, but he can play both of those in a pinch if you need him to. So you got outside line depth. That's quality. Yeah. You picked up 2 rookies. Those they could potentially be good. That piece for the interior line. Maybe they can play all 3 positions. Maybe they can't. Maybe only one of them can. But who knows? It's a possibility. The opportunities are there for them to get a job in the NFL for the foreseeable future. Like their spots are available for them. They just got to go win them.
They just got to win them. They ain't got and they don't got to start. They just got to make the roster. And if guys like Sua Opeta and Jack Driscoll made the roster, these 2 can do it.
Damn right. I mean, yeah, we've had some bad linemen in the past few years. Thank God they're mostly all gone. Although I'm not sure about Steen or
I would bust my ass. All right. You got anything else?
Kind of got to. I got the UDFAs, the undrafted free agents. Jamie Newman of Wake Forest. Don't know anything about him. He was a Wake Forest quarterback.
A quarterback?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we got to wait till preseason.
You have that one that you can develop and trade later on.
Yeah, I think that's just a camp arm.
If he sees the field for us, we're fucking up. Jamie Murray is not here for us.
He's what Carson Strong was for us.
Mm-hmm. Carson Strong needs set field. Trevon Grimes, Florida, 6'4", 218. Another big receiver. Mm-hmm.
This is what Billy Big Mom was.
Yeah, basically. Okay. Apparently, he busted Patrick Surtain's ass in his SEC championship a couple years back. Harry Crider, Indiana.
What position does he play?
He might be a center, but it's got him listed as O-line. Warm body. Eagles.com refers to him as a warm body more than anything else. Another lineman, Odi Awasika of Buffalo. Started 32 games, was a right tackle and left tackle, and team captain. Probably will not beat out Andre Dillard for the left tackle, for the depth of tackle.
In Philly?
Yeah. Oh, wow. What's this? Fuck, is this last year's? Am I looking at last year's? My God, this is last year's. I'm sorry, y'all. Never mind. I ain't got shit. All right, moving forward. I ain't got no UDFAs. That's fucking hilarious.
Nothing like this on stage, screen, radio, TV, a cable, baby.
That's okay. You saw that pop up? The face just popped up.
Yeah, I see that.
So what I got, people I don't know anything about. So I see Gabe Hall, defensive tackle at Baylor.
Okay.
All right, I got you, sweetheart.
No.
Gottlieb ODJUJ from Maryland, offensive guard.
Got laid. What? His name's Got Laid?
Gottlieb.
I want that jersey. I need that jersey. Laid, number 69. I need that jersey.
Kendall Milton, running back in Georgia.
Okay.
Give you a sweetheart. Just wait, okay, please. Kendall Milton of Georgia. You know him? You know anything about him? Never heard of him.
No, don't think so. Maybe.
Of course.
No, I'm definitely thinking of somebody else. No, I don't know.
Anid Dankwa, offensive tackle from Howard.
Ooh, I like him already. He's from Howard. Go Bison. What is he? O-line?
O-tackle, offensive tackle.
Okay. He ain't making the team.
McCallan Castles, tight end from Tennessee.
I don't like him because of his name. These are all camp bodies anyway. But yeah, keep going.
And safety Andre Sam, LSU.
But that's the first one I've heard of. He might not be a bad player randomly. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of why he would have fell so far. I didn't really watch his tape or anything, but I'm at least familiar with him. I like every other name you said.
Sorry about that.
I don't know who he. That's the first name I know, but I don't know nothing about his game.
I'm trying to look at some of his videos. Not seeing anything. He's just tall. He's just tall.
And he's what, 6'4", 6'4" safety.
Oh, Andre Sam. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong person. My apologies.
See, we're just screwed up here.
He's a 25-year-old.
That's what it is.
Been in the league. Been in college since 2017.
Sad.
5'11".
No, he's not tall though.
Yeah,
he's not tall at all. I don't know who I was thinking of. Whatever. He's a practice squad guy.
Yeah, he won't make the team.
From Iowa, Louisiana. Okay. He's from Iowa, Louisiana.
That's Sam?
Andre Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from originally enrolled at McNeese State, transferred to Marshall, then to LSU. They said his hand size, he was 44th, 57. I don't even know what these rankings mean. I have no idea.
Who knows?
I don't know how some of they need to have like a more like detailed way of, or not necessarily detailed, but more of a something where you can measure numbers compared, because this is the Philly voice. So who knows? Anyway, let's move on.
Do we have anything?
We have our final questions, and then we can.
Oh,
Wrap
no.
up.
Do you have questions? Because I would say mine for another episode for the rest of the NFC East and stuff in the draft.
Okay.
And
I have one question, and then we can close it out.
yes.
My question is, if there are 5 head coaching positions, 5 head coaching positions available, they're the top 5 teams: Panthers, Cardinals, Commanders, Patriots, Chargers. Which team, and don't just say you take it for the experience, which team will be the most appealing to coach for?
Say those lists again.
Panthers, Cardinals, Commanders, Patriots, Chargers.
Commanders, then Chargers, and then the rest of them are all in the toilet.
I'd say the
Commanders are actually, they're trying to change things after the last regime turned all the gold to shit. They're trying to fix everything, but like everything's got to be built from the infrastructure up, because Snyder was such a piece of shit and did such a terrible job that he ruined the franchise, the stadium, everything's gone to crap. So we got to rebuild everything. But they're trying, and when we get to that episode where we talk about what Washington did in the draft, we're going to point out that Washington did a lot of good for their future. They made a lot of smart picks, and it looks a lot better than it did last year or last couple of years under Rivera, where they barely even had a quarterback. So
I agree with that.
So I'd rather be at that franchise that's actually showing a commitment to improvement and not just running in place. Like all of the other ones you named.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Washington.
All right.
Plus, I'm always down for a trip to Chocolate City. Go bump some go-go. Yeah, let's do that shit. All right.
I like it. All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're done for the day. And if you lasted this long, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like the video, because you can see Boulevard do more weird things to the face. And with that, I say to you, we can't all be starters, but no one knows better than anybody else exactly what you can do outside of Boulevard. So Boulevard, please let them know what they can do.
They can do what my hairline did and hit the bench.